Hi, I'm J. Paul Zimmerman, and you're watching a podcast where nostalgia comes alive. It's Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Roll it.
Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. Join Jake and his friends on a journey through pop culture of the past, where they interview professionals in the worlds of acting, directing, writing, puppeteering, and so much more. Who will they be chatting with today? Find out in this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. Happy you're with us. Thank you for joining. As always, I'm your host, Jake. Duffenball with me today, as always, our co-hosts, Chris Bixby and Matt Bingo. Hey guys.
Doing good.
Oh, great. Hello, everybody. Glad you're with us. How you doing, Jake?
Doing great. As always, Matt, thank you.
Good.
Yes, we had a wonderful interview for you guys today. Yes, today's guest is actor Kevin Chamberlin. Kevin is known for his countless roles in the theater world, including Horton and Seussical, Uncle Fester and the Addams Family, and so much more. On television, a lot of you may know him for playing Bertram Winkle in the Disney Channel series Jessie, or Dr. Fusion in the Disney Channel original movie Teen Beach Movie. We talk about those and much more. Enjoy.
See you then. Hello everyone, welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, the podcast where nostalgia comes alive.
Yes, today we're very pleased to welcome the wonderful Kevin Chamberlin. Kevin, happy to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Wonderful. So to start this off, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
My name is Kevin Chamberlin. I am originally from New Jersey, and I'm an actor and director and TikTok star and writer and songwriter, musician. And I started out in theater and did Broadway for many years and still go back and do theater. And but most people know me from television and film, from Disney Channel's Jessie to movies like Die Hard with a Vengeance and Road to Perdition.
Nice.
Awesome. So what was your childhood like and how did you grow up?
I grew up in South Jersey, and we moved around a lot when I was really little, but we landed in Morristown, New Jersey, and I was the chubby, awkward kid and looking for something to do. I played piano, and
Oh,
so
nice.
I thought I'd audition for the community theater in Morristown, the summer community theater program. And so I got cast as Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and got my first laugh, and I was hooked. And then I did plays every summer, Peter Pan, Oliver, Wizard of Oz, and really cut my chops there and did high school shows, and then decided to major in it at Rutgers.
Nice.
Interesting. So, was acting something you always wanted to pursue as a career?
After I did my first play, yes. Yeah. It was either going to be that or piano.
Nice.
Awesome. So now, do you remember your first professional acting job?
I got my equity card in the Actors Union doing summer stock on Cape Cod, doing Guys and Dolls with Joey Travolta, John Travolta's brother.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And
Oh,
Donna
wow.
Pescow. And Donna Pescow, does anyone know who she was?
Yeah, I remember her. She was on
Sounds
Even
familiar.
Stevens.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she was in the original Saturday Night Fever film.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Diana Canova, I did On a Clear Day with Diana Canova, who was on the TV show Soap
Nice.
in the 70s.
Nice. So early on, this is kind of a deep cut. You acted in the series Ghostwriter as Abaddon Poulet. What was that like?
That's a blast from the past. That's like 40 years ago. That's so funny. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, it was really fun really broad character, an evil villain who captured rare birds and stuffed them. And so he was surrounded by taxidermy. And his evil cohort, who was a Broadway actress named Allison Reed, who was really wonderful. Who I think she was in the original Chorus Line movie.
Nice.
But yeah, I loved Ghostwriter, and at the same time, I did Reading Rainbow too.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
I did.
wonderful.
I was just a floating
That's a great
head.
show.
They had me on in a green screen, cape. So I just moved my head around and I sang a song called "I Ain't Got No Body."
Oh, interesting. Wow. That's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is really cool. Wow. So you mentioned your introduction, one of your earliest film projects, the 1995 film Die Hard with a Vengeance, playing Charles Weiss. What was it like being in that film?
That was my first movie, and so I didn't have anything to compare it to. And I think I was spoiled because it was a multi-million dollar action film with Bruce Willis, and it was one of Samuel L. Jackson's first films. Jeremy Irons was in it, and I was supposed to work 2 weeks and then be off for a couple of weeks and then come back on. And I don't know if you know about a drop and a pickup on a film, but they can drop you off the schedule and then pick you up once, and then then they have to continue paying you. And so for those of you who know the movie, I have to defuse the big bomb at the end of the movie. And the director didn't like the look of the bomb, so it kept getting sent back to the prop shop. And in the meantime, they had dropped me. I'd filmed all my scenes in New York. And then New York started to get cold. And Die Hard with a Vengeance is supposed to take place on like one of the hottest days of the summer. The film starts with that song, Hot Time, Summer in the City, back of my neck. And so you started seeing steam coming out of people's mouths when they spoke. And that didn't make sense because everything takes place in one day in the movie. And so they moved the whole production down to Charleston, South Carolina, to do all the interiors. And so I started work in August, and then they dropped me and picked me up to do one scene in New York, and then dropped me. And I waited September, October, November. I worked December 18th. And
Oh,
so
wow.
they had to pay me all those months. So
Wow.
I did very
Wow.
well. I paid off my student loan. And the crazy thing was when we started shooting the bomb diffusing scene in South Carolina had gotten a cold spell. And so you could start seeing steam coming out. And I don't know if you know this trick, but they have you suck on an ice cube. And then right before they yell action, you take the ice cube out and start speaking.
Oh,
And
wow.
then
Interesting.
your breath is the same temperature and it doesn't steam.
Hmm.
So that was my experience. And uh, other than making a ton of money, I learned, what to do on a film set, which is basically find a chair and sit in it because you're going to be sitting around for a long time waiting to
Absolutely.
work. There's a
That's
lot of waiting.
wonderful. That's great. So what was it like getting into playing Fred on a Lifetime series, State of Mind?
Oh, did anyone see that? Has anyone seen it?
I don't think I have.
No, I think it only ran like
Parents
6
do.
episodes. That was fun with Lily Taylor. It was really a friend of mine was producing it, and a wonderful writer named Amy Bloom wrote it, based on a autobiographical thing of a group of psychiatrists sharing a house, doing, their offices were in a house in New Haven. And yeah, and I played the crazy receptionist.
Nice. Nice. So now, of course, one of your most well-known roles is playing Bertram Winkle on the Disney Channel series Jessie. I guess kind of starting off, can you kind of talk about the audition process for that role?
Well, when I initially went in, it's funny, the group of character actors that you run into in LA and New York are very, you all kind of grew up in the business together. So I knew everyone in the waiting room. And when I went in, I remember the creator of the show saying, be a little bigger. It's a Disney Channel. And so it's a different type of acting, but it's also a sitcom. So it was it's in front of a live studio audience. So a live sitcom is sort of the perfect marriage between television and theater. And so I apparently nailed my first audition, and they called me back 2 more times, and then brought me in to screen test and do chemistry reads with a bunch of the kids that they were considering. And I was the only one brought in for the final screen test. So I knew that I had the job. I wasn't up against anyone else in the final. So that was nice. And yeah, and I still have a picture of me sitting with the final group that was going to get cast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Absolutely. So this may be tough to choose, but are there any Jessie episodes or storylines that stick out to you as any favorites?
Yeah, I got to direct a bunch, and I do love Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I'm kind of proud of that work. And but from a writing standpoint, I love the Panic Room episode.
Oh yeah, that's a
yeah.
classic.
I might
Yeah.
remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. The kids are locked in a panic room, and they have access to video cameras around the house. And
Right,
they
yeah.
think that Jessie and I are having an affair, but I'm just actually running a scene for her audition. And Cameron is especially funny in that because you find out he plays the accordion.
Accordion, yeah.
Mhm.
That's a funny episode, yeah.
I liked the Halloween episodes. I liked
Oh, those are lots of fun, yeah.
the hoarding, when you find out that Bertram's a hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
And the boy band, when you find out that he was in a boy band in the 80s.
Hmm.
Yeah, there are a lot of good ones. I like the episode where Luke, it was like one of the creepy Connie episodes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was like an episode I remember where creepy Connie like steals Luke's like stuffed koala or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he has a dream, and I'm dressed up as a koala bear. I had to try out a really bad Australian accent.
Mm.
That was mortifying. I had to do a couple of really tough accents. We had a body switching episode, and I switched bodies with Ravi, and so I had to do a South Asian accent, and I just am mortified by it. It's just it didn't age well.
Nope.
And so this is kind of a funny question, but with Jessie, what was it like working with the lizard?
It's a funny story because the Ravi's pet was originally in the pilot episode was a capybara.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
Interesting.
the
Oh.
capybara en route to California died. And so
Oh.
yeah, so they had to scramble and find another animal. And so this Japanese water monitor lizard named Frank was Mr. Kipling, and then Frank laid an egg, and the owner didn't even know that Frank was actually a girl, and so they put that into the plot of the episode. and the lizard had 2,000 teeth. The kids, when they had a scene with him, her had to wear metal braces on their legs. But when I had a scene with her, they didn't give me anything.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but she was pretty mellow. But when you saw her eat, that was the one time a trainer got bit was when they were trying to make her eat. And he had a piece of ham and he kept kind of getting near, and then it just reached out and snapped him. And
Oh,
it was
dang.
a lot of teeth. But otherwise, the lizard did very good. Good. It was hard to train, and
I can
it
imagine,
takes a
yeah.
while to get the lizard to do things. We worked with a lot of animals. We had giraffes, we had a zebra, we
Oh, yeah.
had
Yeah.
ostrich. The ostrich was the worst, I think.
Oh, boy.
We did a spider episode, and they actually had the ASPCA is always on set when there's an animal there. And
Mhm.
they were there for the spider episode too. And I was like, wow, they're really they're really good with their job. They get paid just to make sure that spiders aren't stepped on or
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious, also might be a tough question. Did you have any favorite characters like to do scenes with?
Cameron. Yeah. Cameron, I think he was so beyond his years. He's sort of an old soul,
Yeah.
and his parents are great, and they're actually running the Cameron Boyce Foundation now
Yeah.
for epilepsy, and
Yeah,
they're
rest his soul.
amazing. He was just an old soul and a great actor, really an incredible kid.
And I've read stories,
Absolutely.
that outside of acting, he did a lot of wonderful charity work as well.
He did. Yeah, he had a initiative to bring water to drought areas in Africa and around the world. And yeah, he was just an incredible person and just taking weight. Yeah, I get choked up thinking about him. He's really
Yeah.
19 years old, and I was just too young.
Yeah, because we talked to
rest his soul.
rest his soul. We talked a lot about Cameron to one of the directors from Jessie, Shannon Flynn.
Oh, yeah, Shannon. Yeah,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
directs on
she's
Sesame Street.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right,
she
yes.
is. She's
Yeah.
still doing that.
Yeah,
So
but
proud
yeah,
of her.
Cameron was taken way too soon for sure.
Way too soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now this is kind of an interesting question because you were also in some of the crossovers with other Disney Channel shows. So what were those like?
Yeah. They were always big. I mean, there was one, the Austin and Alley one. We actually they built a Times Square building.
I love that episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, we all were sort of on the same. We called it a campus, but it was the Hollywood Center Studios. And so while we were shooting, like Lab Rats was there, Austin and Alley, Liv and Maddie. I can't remember. There were a couple other ones that kind of came and went, but
Kicking it, I
was
think I heard that like Kicking It
Kicking
or
It,
something.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
filmed near
yeah.
there,
I haven't watched that series in a long time. But I just
Something like
remember
that,
I remember watching it fondly.
Yeah, and all the kids got to play at lunch hour, and they all went to school there. They had to
Oh,
do
nice.
4 hours a day and of school, and so it was really a fun time. I mean, it was 4.5 years of my life that was really unique.
Yes, absolutely. And then there's also the Good Luck Charlie crossover, the Christmas one
Yep.
that I thought was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
I remember that
It was
too.
great. It was really smart to do those.
Absolutely.
Really was the
yeah.
heyday. It's sort of, I think, of the Disney sitcom
Oh yeah, for sure.
was during Jessie, and I mean, I think it started with Wizards of Waverly Place, and sort of
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really fun.
for sure.
Absolutely. So show Jessie ran for a few years, quite a few years actually. But
Well, it's still,
you
you know,
kinda-
it's the whole new generation now is watching
yeah, yeah,
streaming. So
yeah,
it
it
feels
is a
like
new
it's still
generation.
on, and it's
Yeah.
still on like 4 or 5 times a day
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
on Disney Channel.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. But could you kind of talk about the last day filming the show and kind of the overall feeling that, at least with new episodes anyway, that it was coming to an end?
It was coming to an end, but there was also a sequel, you know, Bunked.
Yeah,
And
bunked. Right.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was like the last day for Debbie and I.
Yeah.
But the kids went on to do Bunked, and except for Cameron. And it was very emotional. I remember it was the show had become so huge that you really felt like this was the end of a really special a group of people. You know, I watched these kids grow up. Sky was 8 when we started the show, and I think Cameron and Karin were 10 and 11, and Peyton was 12, turning 13. So, I mean, I really I felt very paternal towards them, and also a mentor for being in the business and
Right. Yeah.
teaching them acting skills and how to be a professional actor. And so it really was the culmination of a it was like going to college for them. You know, it was television showbiz college. And by the end of those 4 years, they were all worldwide famous. You know,
Oh
we
yeah,
all,
for
we
sure.
all were.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Exactly.
I went to Italy and got mobbed.
Wow.
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 I have fans in Argentina and Uruguay, and I mean it's
That's
everywhere.
so cool.
The show
Wow.
just
That's
runs,
amazing.
and you know, because I've started TikTok a couple of years ago,
Yep.
that has just exploded.
Like skyrocketed. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I have 2 generations of TikTok followers. I think I'm about to hit 11 million.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Congratulations on
starting to
that.
make a
Wow.
living.
That's amazing.
Starting to make a
Wow.
living with branding and stuff, and it's really fun.
Oh,
And
that's
I can
awesome.
create my own videos, you know, and
Talking.
direct and create with a friend of mine, Sam Kite, and he does digital advertising, and he helps me write and produce them.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's great. So aside from Jessie, you were also in the Disney Channel original movie, DCOM for short, Teen Beach Movie as Dr. Fusion. What was working on that like?
Well, we shot it in Puerto Rico, which was fun. So I felt like I was on vacation. And I'm very sad about that because I had a big musical number with the other villain. It was called Tomorrow the World. And it got cut. And I've never seen it. I never saw the cut footage. And I wonder if it's on a hard drive or a vault somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've asked about
Probably
it.
a vault.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it was
maybe
somewhere.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's really a great number.
Hmm.
And it had a lot of choreography, and yeah, and all those people, they became big stars. Maya and
Ross Lynch.
Ross,
and-
yeah. Garrett Clayton. I do a lot of TikToks with
Right.
him.
Yeah. I was just gonna mention. Yeah, you've done some TikToks with him, which is cool
Yeah.
too.
And Jordan Fisher, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's an amazing cast.
Right.
I've worked with them all a couple times since.
Nice. Nice.
That's great. So now you also got to take part in the "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" music video, which with most of the other DC Channel stars. What was it like getting to do that?
That was really a nice surprise. I mean, we Disney rarely involved me in extracurricular activities. It was more about the kids, you know.
Mhm.
And
Right.
but they realized that I had Broadway roots and could sing, and I actually have written. I wrote a song for an episode where Peyton and I are doing a community theater production.
Oh
And I wrote
yeah, I
a,
think I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, I wrote this song. The trick is to grow up without growing old, and so they started using my Broadway um, talents, and so that was really nice to be involved with that. And it's funny, they play it on the radio all the time on the Disney Channel. I actually get residuals for that song.
Oh, nice. Interesting.
Oh wow.
So, moving on to your theater work, one of your other most known roles was on the musical Seussical, playing the role of Horton the Elephant. What was that whole
Yeah.
experience like for you?
Did any of you guys ever do Seussical in school?
No,
Yeah, not that.
unfortunately. I wish
No,
I
not
wish
that.
I would have had the chance
I,
to. It looked
I
so
wish
fun.
I would have. I did Aladdin at one point, but never Seussical. Would have been cool though.
It's one of the most produced musicals in high schools, which is cool because the original production was a flop.
Yeah.
It was sort of a disastrous out of town tryout, and they fired the director and the costume designer and the set designer and
Wow.
in
Interesting.
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big and the show had been hyped a lot. And so we came into town with a little, they call it where you come into town with a little stink on you. And so people were ready to knock it down. And it was also the beginning of Broadway chat rooms where people would post their reviews. This was 2000, and it was really just the beginning of those forums and those boards. And that really killed us. We didn't really, now you have to sign an NDA when you go into a Broadway show that you're not going to read or post on those boards. And because it can be very, we all learned that lesson where like, don't believe what you read on the internet. And so people were posting reviews and reading them, and the producers were reading them, and it was a weird time for Broadway and the internet. But the show is so dear to my heart, and the role is very. I still go to see productions of it, and I feel like I have a bond with anyone who plays Horton. It's a great role, and it's funny because being the chubby character actor, you don't get the romantic lead usually, but this gives that the chance for the chubby kid in the high school to play the lead, and he gets to kiss the girl at the end, and or the bird as it is in Seussical. So it's a very unique, special role and a special show, and everyone who does it really always says they have a blast.
Nice.
That's great. So now, what was it like playing Uncle Fester in the Addams Family musical?
That was really fun. I was a big Addams Family fan growing up, and I kind of, there's an old saying, talent borrows, genius steals. And so I stole from the original Jackie Coogan character in the television show. I stole his voice where he kind of talked like this. And so I used that, and it was interesting to learn how to sing with that voice too. But I was involved very early on in all the workshops. We did like eight workshops. We did one workshop just working on my moon number, which was done with puppets. Basil Twist, who's an incredible puppet artist in New York. He did all the puppetry for it, and it used a Japanese puppet technique where you wear like black pants, and you have a upper body puppet, and two people manipulate fake legs. So it's like you're floating.
Interesting.
There's a YouTube video called Matrix Ping Pong that shows the technique. It's really, I recommend you checking it out. But it was really cool effect, and it looked like I was flying when I was just walking up black stairs, and two people were manipulating these fake legs in front of me.
Nice.
It was a cool song, and I got a Tony nomination for it, which was cool.
There you go.
Nice.
That's great.
Great.
And Nathan Lane and BB Newirth were amazing. It was a great cast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So in
God, I've had a long
2019
career. I'm old.
Well, we're going a little more recent here. In 2019, you got to play Mr. Mushnik in a Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
What was working on that like?
Where are you guys based?
I'm based in Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
And me and
And-
Matt are from different parts of Maryland, which is like,
Oh.
like an hour and a half.
Oh, I grew
from
up
each
in
other.
Ellicott City.
No kidding.
Yeah, in Howard
Ellicott
County.
City.
Oh wow.
Ah, okay.
Actually,
Nice.
since earlier you mentioned Cape Cod, that's where I am. I'm in Cape Cod.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was at the Falmouth Playhouse.
I have been up
Oh,
to Falmouth a
wow.
couple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm from Calvert County, and what were you again, Matt?
I'm in Baltimore County.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we lived there till I was 7, and then we
Oh wow.
started moving around.
Nice.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Little Shop production was in Pasadena, here in LA, and MJ Rodriguez played Audrey, and George Salazar played Seymour, and it was a really wild avant-garde production. I mean, you don't think of Little Shop as avant-garde, but the design was really cool, and I recommend people looking up pictures of it because it doesn't look like your everyday Little Shop of Horrors. It's really cool. And it was a huge hit for the theater, which had really been struggling. And it was the first, it was a new artistic director, and it really kind of put the theater back on the map. And they won the Tony Award for Best Regional Theater that year.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Ah,
Nice.
that's
So-
awesome.
Another one of your more recent acting roles was playing Flip on the Loud House spin-off series, The Really Loud House. Can you talk a little bit about doing that?
Yeah, that's really fun because that was not on my radar at all. I didn't know the cartoon at all. And I was actually working in Albuquerque doing Outer Range. Anyone ever see that on Amazon? I recommend it. It's a great TV series
Okay.
with Josh. Oh my God, I'm old. I'm forgetting. Famous actor, you know. His dad was is married to Barbra Streisand.
Oh.
You know,
From what?
from
What series?
oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm forgetting his last.
No, like what series from again?
Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Yeah,
His father is James Brolin, who's married to Barbra Streisand.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's right.
yeah, I was doing the series in Albuquerque, and Albuquerque's become this huge since Breaking Bad was shot there. It's the Hollywood of the Southwest now. Netflix just built a huge studio there, and so I guess someone knew that I had been working there a lot, and they thought of me for Flip, and I went in, and it was a complete blast. And I've done a couple more episodes. I did a Halloween episode, and yeah, I don't know. Is it still on? Is it? I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the really loud house. The really loud house. Yeah. Yeah, I know
I
it's
think it's
definitely.
still on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still on because I know it's like kind of one of like, those like recent like shows. Like kind of.
I know because all the kids
know,
are
so I
growing
know
up very
it's-
fast.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't.
Gotcha.
They start getting facial hair, and then
Right.
Had to recast and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cast was wonderful, and the lead kid. It's such a crazy. It was a crazy set when all the kids are on there. Oh my God, it was. You had everyone from a baby to 20 years old. So
Nice.
it was fun. It was a great set.
Nice.
Awesome. So as we're getting close to wrapping up here, can you share any projects you're currently working on, or at least the ones that you are allowed to talk about?
I got a movie opening on streaming on Apple TV called The Zombie Wedding on Friday.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
It's the first movie produced by Weekly World News, the
Hmm.
tabloid. The tabloid magazine that you see at
Right.
the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
market. They're famous for the Bat Boy stories, and so that's really fun. Zombie Wedding, and I have a television series coming up on Max called Duster. That's J.J. Abrams wrote and produced it, and it takes place in the 1970s, and it's an homage to the muscle car movies of the 1970s. And I'm doing my one-man show in New York at the Green Room on 42nd Street, and that's going to be November 24th and 25th.
Nice.
Nice. Looking forward
Awesome.
for more of those films that will be coming out very soon.
Yes,
more
so-
in the future.
Yeah, so to wrap this up, the last question that Jake's about to ask is a question we ask all of our guests at the end. Go ahead, Jake.
Thank you, Chris. Of course, this podcast is called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. When you think of nostalgia, what do you think of? Or in your own words, how would you define the word nostalgia?
When I get nostalgic, it usually is something that hits my senses from way back in the past. So if I smell something, if I smell like like when you go to a carnival and you smell like the burnt sugar of cotton candy, you think about the days when you went to a carnival as a kid with your family. When you there was a this goop, it was like the first version of slime. It was called Super Stuff. It was made by Whammo. And whenever I smell like fake mint smell, I think of Super Stuff. And that makes me it made me so nostalgic. I went onto eBay to see if you could still buy it.
I'm sure.
And then with television shows, these great old channels like MeTV, where you can see those old television shows that you grew up with, they just make you feel warm inside, like you did when you were a kid and you were curled up watching TV and eating popcorn or cotton candy, So it affects all of your senses. That's what something that's nostalgic does to me.
That's wonderful. Great words, and thank you very much. But yeah, going back and quickly to your TikTok, since we kind of into nostalgia, topic, because now you've been making your TikTok, and now with so many people like, oh my gosh, I remember you from Jessie, or those type of things. Now people get even just feel so nostalgic, even just to seeing you again in TikTok feel, and and see what's happening behind the scenes, what people don't want to know more about in Jessie. And I mean, it really goes to show that Jessie is still such a nostalgic show in the Disney Channel wise.
If I had a dollar for every time I hear "you were my childhood, man."
Hey, you got mobbed in Italy. What else can happen?
Exactly. Well,
Thank you.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. This was a blast.
Oh, thanks for the change in schedule, being adaptive.
No worries at all. Glad we
No
can make it happen. And
worries.
thank you so much for what you've done over the years. Keep up a great work of what you're doing now. And cannot wait what's next in store.
Great. Yeah, check out Zombie Wedding.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely, we'll do.
Starts Friday on Apple TV.
Wonderful.
All right.
All right. Well, and enjoy the rest of your day, Kevin.
Let us know.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Take
again,
care.
Thank
Kevin.
you.
No problem.
See you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.
And it's goodbye from us as well, everyone. We absolutely enjoy our time speaking with the wonderful Kevin Chamberlin. Links to his social media, including his TikTok, will be in the description down below for anyone who wants to connect with him or check out his work. But it's goodbye from Kevin, and it's goodbye from us as well. Keep on the lookout for more wonderful interviews coming your way. And as always, Jake, take us home. What do we say, my friend?
Yeah, keep nostalgia alive. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode. Be sure to follow Jake and the Happy Nostalgia team on social media, check out our website, and stream the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And as always, remember to keep nostalgia alive. Bye-bye.